Hi, my name is Shizuko Hashimoto. I'm here representing the Asian Pacific American Network of Oregon to express our deep concern over the current situation in Arizona. Last Friday, Governor Jan Brewer signed into law SB 1070, a law that gives local law enforcement agents the power to stop and check the documentation of any individual where, quote, reasonable suspicion exists that the person is an alien who is unlawfully present in the U.S. This law will require that everyone carry identification papers at all times, though it is clear that Latinos and other people of color will be targeted by this law. During World War II, more than 100,000 Japanese-born and Japanese-American individuals were placed in concentration camps during a shameful period of U.S. history. These individuals, many of them citizens, some second, third, even fourth generation Americans, were judged as enemies solely because of their ethnicity, the color of their hair, the shape of their eyes. Condemned them and they were sent to live in concentration camps. They were judged solely upon their race. In 1988, Congress passed legislation which apologized for the internment of Japanese Americans during World War II and stated that the government's actions were based on, quote, race prejudice, war hysteria, and a failure of political leadership. Fast forward to 2010. Anti-immigrant sentiment is running high, and in Arizona, a law championed by Arizona State legislator Russell Pierce, who has very clear ties to neo-Nazi movements, passes. The governor signs this hate into law. This law is based on racial prejudice, hysteria, and it demonstrates a clear failure of political leadership. A panel stands by our immigrant brothers and sisters in Arizona in calling for political leadership from the Obama administration. SB 1070 is a violation of basic civil rights, and it is an affront to our nation's Latino immigrants and all communities of color. There is an urgent need for just and humane immigration reform in the United States. Millions of immigrant workers contribute their blood, sweat, their tears, and their hope for a better future to this country. As the Obama administration and the U.S. Congress debate immigration reform, we sincerely hope that they take into account the true consequences of strengthening collaboration efforts between local law enforcement agencies and ICE. When we compel local law enforcement agencies to enforce federal immigration law, we open the doors to dangerous practices which we're now seeing in Arizona.